happen with this court, everybody coming to court all the time?
Well, from a procedural standpoint, the court, Judge Takase, of course, the Hawai'i Supreme Court just came out with the decision in the TMT case, invalidating the CDOA permits. So the court has decided on her own that all of these arrests somehow are connected to the court's decision invalidating the CDOA permits. The Supreme Court having rendered this decision only on Wednesday, this judge is saying she has not had enough time yet to fully comprehend the ramifications of the Supreme Court's decision. In particular, the concurrent opinion of the Supreme Court, which discusses some of the protections afforded to Native Hawaiians and their traditional and cultural practices. I think it sounds to me, based on her comments in court, that perhaps she finds the concurrent opinion perhaps to be persuasive and how it might impact the prosecution of these cases. That being the case, the court on its own has asked that all of these cases be continued so that the parties can brief the issue and then the court can better understand exactly how the Supreme Court decision impacts the prosecution of these cases, if at all. Okay?
Just a little political perspective in all of this. We just got to be conscious to understand, first of all, that the state of Hawaii, through Governor Ige, really derelict in their duties to protect not just the process, the due process as they look, but really to protect the rights of we, the people of the land, those who have been here for thousands of years, to protect our most sacred sites. Not as a natural resource, but really something that's tied into our humanity and who we are. So really, when I look at what went down, unfortunately, here's the governor who was willing 2 weeks ago, in preparation with the police and state police, to arrest as much as 500 people on the mountain who were there to defend the integrity of the mountain. And within the last few days, the Supreme Court of the state of Hawaii now is pointing the finger at the DLNR for wrongly moving forward in a process that did not in fact take into account our rights as a people to this land, and specifically to the Mauna. So really what you see going on here for me is, unfortunately, we should recognize it's really the governor and the government really who are the criminals in this whole process, who allowed these multinational corporations, industrialists, working on their behalf to protect their capital interests in destroying the sanctity and sacredness of Mauna Kea, and at the same time turning a blind eye at our people who have been saying for far too long, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And fortunately, and I say fortunately enough, the Supreme Court looked at the evidence and realizes there are many issues with Mauna Kea. First of all, to recognize that the state of Hawaii, through the University of Hawaii system, through the Board of Land and Natural Resources, have been running amok in regards to protecting the rights and interests of outsiders and failing to protect us, we, the people of this land. And so, I hope that people look at Governor Ige and realize that his administration and past state administrations really are liable and really are guilty of not providing and protecting our rights. When you look at what happened back in April, back in June, the state of Hawaii should have been looking to protect our rights first. And instead, they already criminalized us as Hawaiians. So that's the whole thing. These whole issues about Hawaiians already been criminalized. Being a Hawaiian, protecting what is really the most sacred piece of who we are as a people, makes you into a criminal within their system. And so I see really what's happening here today. I say this is just the beginning, really, of an uprising of our people who are taking advantage of our cultural knowledge, our historical knowledge, understanding of laws, to say to the world that we are a people, we are Lahui, and we proclaim, in fact, that we have a right to be a free and empowered people in this future. So for me, I always look at what's happening here as an opportunity. This is a door that has been opened for our people, and I look, a better future for all our people. In standing firm for what we believe in, and we know what is pono, which is, e mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono.
And I was just going to add, and we know that what we've been doing is we've been answering this question in the context of U.S. law. You understand? U.S. law, state law. And while what I agree with everything Kaleikoa says, we have to remember that it is in the context of U.S. law. And what we've been doing, many of my clients have been arguing, in fact, this is not U.S. law, that this is Hawaiian Kingdom law. So that, in fact, the governor doesn't have the lawful authority to be ordering any of the enforcement officers to be conducting this arrest. Neither does the governor have the authority to be negotiating the leases and the permits for the CDUA. If anything, we understand that under Hawaiian Kingdom law, because it continues to exist, the true authority that should be exercising those negotiations and the issuance of the permit should be between TMT and the Hawaiian Kingdom government. So, but I wanted to answer your question first about what we thought what the judge was doing. And I do believe, I think she's been impacted by this decision, and perhaps it's an indication of where she wants to go within the scope of her own authority, and she wants to have these issues addressed before she makes her ruling.
And that's the bottom core issue. Our people have never given free consent to what has been going on the mountain and what has been going on for the last 120 plus years in these islands and stuff. So whether it's issues of water, or we're looking now over at Haleakala, or other issues, you know, I'm a firm believer this ball will grow and get stronger and stronger. The voice of our people will get stronger and stronger. And the more we struggle and agitate against what's wrong, we build the strength and foundation for not just people of today, but really for the future generations. We cannot help but just do what is right. So I said, we cannot help but just do what is good for the land. And as long as we look at what's the best of the land and for our people, we're always going to be in the right and stuff. So,
all of this just reawakened our nation. That's what it does. So do you guys think Governor Ige's administration did their due diligence, or do you think that they actually knew about the permit being invalid and they just was hoping that we wouldn't find out about it or we wouldn't contest it?
Well, this is how I would say they're in a state of denial. Because while they cannot dispute the fact that the Hawaiian Kingdom continues to exist, at this point they're not willing to relinquish that power. So that's why they're continuing to exercise their fake authority over all of this. So, and what they're trying to do by continuing to grant these permits or continuing to move forward is to try and further entrench themselves as the so-called authority, even though they don't